The 17 News at Sunrise podcast is brought to you by Clinica Sierra Vista.
Welcome back to the 17 News at Sunrise podcast, where we share your news on your schedule.
Working in the spirit of the Golden Empire, this is 17 News at Sunrise.
Good morning, everyone. Thanks for being with us this morning. It's 5 a.m. I'm Maddie Jansen alongside Alex Fisher, and it is our CMN Day of Giving. We love this day every year. It's a special time to just show off the generosity of Kern County.
Georgia voters have spoken and are sending Democrat Raphael Warnock back to the Senate for 6 more years. Warnock defeated his Republican challenger, Herschel Walker, in a runoff election. This win gives Democrats an outright majority in the U.S. Senate. NBC's Bree Jackson is in Washington this morning with more.
Alex, Senator Raphael Warnock's win expands Democrats' majority in the Senate to 51-49 and ends the party's reliance on Vice President Kamala Harris for tie-breaking votes.
After a hard-fought campaign, you got me for 6 more years.
The battle for Georgia's U.S. Senate seat decided after going to the ballot twice, including for a runoff election. Voters re-elected incumbent Democrat Raphael Warnock.
The issues are not simple, they're complex. But here's my promise to you: I will walk with you even as I work for you.
His Republican challenger, former NFL football star Herschel Walker, conceded late last night.
I'm not going to make any excuses now because we put up one heck of a fight.
Winning Georgia gives Democrats a 51-49 majority in the upper chamber and more leverage to pass legislation despite Republican pushback.
So the Democrats want to distract the voters. Republicans actually want to accomplish something.
Warnock's election also closes the book on the 2022 midterms while setting the tone for the future.
This is going to could give Democrats momentum heading into 2023 and 2024 with a little wind at their backs.
This election cycle also sends a message to the GOP. Walker was one of several U.S. Senate candidates who was endorsed by former President Trump and lost.
For the GOP, stop doing stupid. Stop putting up candidates that you know damn well can't even articulate a campaign, let alone run one.
During his campaign, Senator Warnock promised to work across the aisle. He'll return to a divided Congress next session where Republicans control the House, and bipartisanship will be key to passing legislation. President Biden called Senator Raphael Warnock to congratulate him. The president also sent a tweet saying Georgia voters stood up for our democracy and rejected ultra-MAGAism. In Washington, I'm Bree Jackson for 17 News.
Back here at home, into some breaking news from overnight. A semi-truck that witnesses say was filled with bottles of wine burst into flames on Highway 58. Take a look. It happened just before 10 p.m. on the Tower Line Road off-ramp. Kern County Fire Department responded to put out the flames, but once they learned what was inside the truck, we're told the crews actually had to let the trailer burn to keep the wine from spreading. No word yet on what caused the fire or just how much wine was inside. Witnesses say no one was hurt. Police are asking for help finding a missing woman. This is a picture of 84-year-old Sonia Regal. She was last seen yesterday on Truxton Avenue in downtown Bakersfield, wearing a red vest, blue jeans, and red shoes. Police say Regal's considered at risk due to a mental condition. Anyone with information should call police.
A suspected DUI driver accused of killing a 77-year-old woman is expected to be sentenced later today. The crash happened in August last year on Olive Drive east of State Road. Ima Jean Flippin was killed. While lying in a hospital bed after the crash, Ariana Hernandez told officers she drank 3 Modelo beers and smoked half a blunt before getting behind the wheel that night. Later, she allegedly said she drank a green buzzball cocktail and denied smoking marijuana. Regardless of which statement was accurate, reports say Hernandez's blood alcohol content tested at 0.16%. That is twice the legal limit. Hernandez pleaded no contest to 5 felonies and faces up to 14 years in prison. And other states have tried it and failed, but California could soon be the first state in the nation to fine oil companies for what Governor Gavin Newsom claims is intentional price gouging at the gas pump. 17's Capitol correspondent Eitan Wallace examines the governor's proposal and has new reaction from one of the premier lobbying organizations for the oil industry.
Well, here it is. This is the governor's 7-page proposal to financially penalize oil companies he says are taking advantage. But upon a closer look, you'll notice some portions of the document are left blank as the governor calls on lawmakers in there to hammer out the details.
Big oil is ripping you off.
Governor Gavin Newsom taking to Twitter to hammer home his message on oil companies he argues are price gouging at the pump.
It's time to hold big oil to account.
To do just that, Newsom released this proposal. The idea, he says, is to put in place a ceiling on oil company profit margins. If oil companies exceed that ceiling in profits, they'll face a financial penalty. The money collected from the penalty would then go into a fund and from there back into the pockets of Californians. But specifics, including how much profit the governor considers too much for oil companies and how he intends to distribute the money collected from big oil, are left blank in the document. Still, he maintains that will soon change.
And that's going to be worked out with the legislative leaders.
These type of policies just do not work.
Kevin Slagle is with the Western States Petroleum Association, or WSPA. They are lobbying against the governor's proposal.
No one likes high gas prices, and it hurts everybody. And so we should take this time when there's a lot of scrutiny, focus on the causes for the cost at the pump, and do something that actually helps consumers. Let's have better public policy. Let's not have more taxes, more regulations, more mandates, more bans, the things that we've seen coming from this administration for the past several years.
And I'm told legislative leadership will work on the plan in the coming weeks and present it to lawmakers when they return to the Capitol in January. Reporting here in Sacramento, Eitan Wallace, 17 News.
Taking news around the state, the LA City Clerk last night approved a recall petition against embattled City Councilman Kevin De Leon. This means organizers can start collecting signatures. They need to collect more than 20,000 signatures from registered voters of the 14th District by March 31st. De Leon, along with Councilman Gil Cedillo, have defied widespread calls to resign for taking part in a recorded 2021 conversation that involved racist comments and attempts to manipulate the redistricting process. San Francisco supervisors have voted to put the brakes on a controversial policy that would let police use robots for deadly force. The Board of Supervisors voted unanimously yesterday to ban the use of robots for lethal force for now, but they sent the issue back to a committee for further discussion and could allow it in limited cases in the future. The proposal to use lethal force robots is part of a larger piece of legislation authorizing San Francisco PD to use military gear.
Back here at home, a Kern County prison is set for closure and another will shutter one of its facilities. The CDCR announced it would terminate its lease for the California City Correctional Facility, effectively ending the use that the facility is as a prison. It also plans to close Facility D at Tehachapi's California Correctional Institution. Tehachapi City Manager Greg Garrett slammed the decision in a statement saying, in part, "We know there will be both short-term and long-term harm to the region due to these decisions made in Sacramento." CCCI's lease is set to expire in 2024. It is unclear when CDCR plans to close the facility in Tehachapi, which officials estimate houses about 800 prisoners.
The 17 News at Sunrise podcast is a production of KGET and Nexstar Media Group. For more on all of the headlines in today's show, head to kget.com.